welcome once again to another edition of Elections Unlocked, your one-stop destination for all that's happening in the battle for 2024. Remember, this is now entering that critical phase where in just a few days from now we expect the elections to be announced. But today the big story on Elections Unlocked came from Haryana, where Manohar Lal Khattar, Chief Minister for the last 9.5 years, resigned as the Haryana Chief Minister post a split between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the state BJP headed by Dushyant Chautala. We have a new Chief Minister. Nayab Singh Saini is the new Chief Minister of Haryana. So what is this all about? Well, the sense one gets is the BJP just ahead of the Lok Sabha, and remember Vidhan Sabha elections also in Haryana this year, is looking to kill three birds with one stone. Dilute anti-incumbency and the brewing farmer anger against a 9-year chief minister. Divide the Jat vote by getting the BJP out of the alliance. The BJP also is a Jat-driven party. Divide, in a sense, the Jat vote between the Congress and the BJP and consolidate the BJP's increasingly large non-Jat vote bank. It may work in the Lok Sabha, 10 seats in Haryana. Remember, the BJP won all 10 last time. But in the Vidhan Sabha last time, no party got a majority and the Congress was on the comeback trail. How is all this playing out and what does all this mean? We'll be joined in a moment by our intrepid Preeti Chaudhary and Paulomi Saha. But before that, take a look at all that's been happening in Haryana today.
मैं नायब सिंह ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं हरियाणा राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा।
Haryana woke up to high political drama on Tuesday. The state has got a new chief minister in Nayab Singh Saini. The chain of events started with Manohar Lal Khattar quitting as chief minister amid reports of rift with the BJP over seat sharing. The BJP was keen to contest on 2 seats, but the BJP was in no mood to give any seat to Dushyant Chautala's party. By afternoon, it became clear the BJP was going for an overhaul in the state that it swept in 2019. Saini was declared as chief minister after a meeting of the MLAs in the presence of central observers.
मनोहर लाल जी जैसा व्यक्तित्व और व्यक्ति राजनीतिक क्षेत्र में होना असंभव सा काम है।
Saini is the current state BJP chief. He is a member of parliament from Kurukshetra. Considered to be a close aide of Khattar, Saini is also a known OBC face. The Congress has demanded precedence rule in the state, claiming the BJP has lost moral right to rule.
एक और समझौता हो गया है गठबंधन तोड़ने का, तो लोगों को गुमराह करने का, क्योंकि इस 5 साल में हर वर्ग इस सरकार से विमुख हो चुका है। इस पार्टी को कुछ भी सरकार में रहने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है। मैं कहता हूं कि तुरंत हरियाणा में राष्ट्रपति शासन लागू होना चाहिए और चुनाव में चले जाना चाहिए।
We are keeping a close eye on all the developments. एक बार पूरा जो घटनाक्रम जिस तरफ बढ़ेगा तब आपको विस्तार से जानकारी हम देंगे।
The alliance is broken, which was in any case an unholy alliance. लोगों की आंखों में धूल झोंका, and first day itself we knew that this is not going to last. BJP, which claims to be in control all over, they let events overtake them, and now they are reacting in such a way.
With Nayab Singh Saini at the helm, the BJP is set for a new innings in Haryana. Bureau Report, India Today.
So what explains the latest twist in Haryana's politics? Joining me now is Preeti Chaudhary, who, remember, is from Haryana, so knows a thing or two about the state, and Paulomi Saha, who tracks the Bharatiya Janata Party for us. Great to have both of you on the show. Let me come to you, Paulomi, first, because you can tell us, why did the BJP do what they did all of a sudden, 6 months to go for Vidhan Sabha elections in Haryana, just weeks to go for Lok Sabha? Was this expected?
Well, we can't say it was all of a sudden. Clearly, the BJP thought this through as far as, their politics in Haryana is concerned. For a very long time, of course, there were the two factors that everyone is talking about, how BJP has countered those very two factors with the decisions that it has made today. But those two factors had been prevalent for a very long time. The anti-incumbency factor, which is associated with the Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar. No doubt that the Prime Minister praised him yesterday, all the way through in Gurgaon during that program at the Dwarka Expressway, and he reminisced about the times that he sat on Manohar Lal Khattar's motorbike and went from Rohtak to Delhi. All of that, it's true that he holds him in very high regard, but the fact of the matter is that the electoral prospects of the BJP had taken a hit. There were many challenges, of course, that the Khattar government had faced since 2014, the Jat agitation, the farmers agitation, the violence in Nu, what happened concerning the data such or the various factors, law and order issues that he'd faced, challenges on the ground. So it was, there was an anti-incumbency factor. There were certain challenges that he was facing, and the electoral prospects were taking a hit. From 2014, 47 seats, you went down to 40 in 2019. So clearly, the BJP wanted a simple majority in 2024, not to have to piggyback on, independence and JJP in order to win the elections in 2024 comfortably. The JJP now will become, they hope, a Congress vote cutter in this election. So again, that would be a benefit and advantage for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And then, of course, because the JJP insisted on 2 Lok Sabha seats, the Bhiwani Mahendragarh seat and the Hisar seat, and the BJP and Haryana BJP unit, at least, Rajdeep was very clear that we want to go it alone. We won 10 Lok Sabha seats, 10 out of 10 in 2019. Why do we need to give away any of our seats which we won to a partner? Okay, they are a partner, at best one, but not more than that.
Preeti, give us the big picture. Here is a state which the BJP dominated in the Lok Sabha but struggled in the Vidhan Sabha, and which took place just a few months later. Is this, as Paulomi is suggesting, simply about some kind of realpolitik where you try and break the Jat vote by getting the JJP out of your alliance, change your chief minister to offset anti-incumbency? Is it as simple as that? Is this a kind of chess game that's being played in Haryana with Dushyant Chautala at the moment, at least appearing, for now at least, being used as a pawn?
Well, there are two ways to look at it, Rajdeep. One, yes, that of course it seems like a fixed match of sorts where the JJP even in 2019, right before the Vidhan Sabha elections, fought this election and took away about 10% of that vote that possibly could have gone to the Congress. If there was no JJP, today we could have had a Congress government in Haryana. And it benefits the BJP that the JJP doesn't fight with it, but fights separately, because their vote banks are very, very different. In this, it benefits the BJP. Second point is, why is it damage control? Right, where did the BJP maximize its electoral dividends in the Vidhan Sabha elections in the last elections in 2019? Right from the Panipat all the way the GT Karnal belt, which goes up to Panchkula.
The Grand Trunk Road.
Yeah, well, this is the area where the BJP maximized. This is the area where it got the maximum number of votes.
Large non-Jat population.
Votes. Now, why have they picked a candidate from this area, from Kurukshetra, to replace Manohar Khattar, other than him being close to Khattar? Is the fact that, Rajdeep, they are not Jats, but they have cultural similarities with Punjab. There was a sense right after the farmers' agitation, especially the kind of force that was used by the Haryana government, that the Khattar administration was too strong, where it came down to an offensive which was launched on the farmers. And especially the villages around, the area around, which is the non-Jat area. This is the core vote bank of the BJP. They needed to assuage that we've made that change. So I do think this change has been made, for damage control in terms of this whole cultural belt, which actually, is closer to culture of Punjab than to the actual culture of Haryana.
So assuage farmer anger.
Assuage the belt of which they thought there was sympathy which came in for the farmers on how Khattar dealt with them, number one. Number two, the BJP needs the JJP to go it alone, because the BJP doesn't need the entire Jat vote, but the BJP needs about 5% of the Jat vote.
Right. You know, the interesting point about Manohar Lal Khattar is that Narendra Modi and he go back a very long way, to the years when both of them were pracharaks and actually shared a room together. So they were roommates. And Mr. Modi has had a very special affection for Manohar Lal Khattar, which might explain why he's been in power for 9 years, even though there have been many other candidates who've been trying to somehow or the other become Chief Minister of Haryana. 9 years is a pretty solid time that Manohar Lal Khattar has had in Haryana. The big question, of course, that anti-incumbency that both Preeti and Paulomi spoke about, how will that play out in the Lok Sabha elections? Will the Modi factor offset that? And how will it play out in the Vidhan Sabha, where, remember, the Congress is putting all their hopes on the Huddas. So that's going to be interesting how that plays out in Haryana. Preeti, Paulomi, thank you very much for giving us that quick update of why the Haryana Game of Thrones was played out. Let's turn, as we spoke about the Congress briefly. The Congress party has announced 43 candidates today in a second list that the party has, mainly in states like Assam, states like Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. The second list has seen a couple of sons of the big Congress leaders in states getting tickets. Gaurav Gogoi, son of the late former Assam Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi, will contest from Jorhat. Kamal Nath's son, Nakul Nath, has been fielded once again from Madhya Pradesh's Chhindwara. Remember, this is the only seat in 2019 in Madhya Pradesh that the Congress won. Vaibhav Gehlot, son of former Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, will try his luck a second time, this time from Rajasthan's Jalore. Remember, last time he lost from Jodhpur to Gajendra Singh Shekhawat there. Interestingly, not just those who've been chosen, but those who've dropped out. Sachin Pilot, for example, has dropped out of the 2024 race. He isn't contesting from Rajasthan. He's the General Secretary of the party in charge of Chhattisgarh. Okay, let's get more details then on that Congress list for the election. The second list, Maushmi Singh, always intrepid, tracking every moment in the Congress with us, and so is Preeti Chaudhary. Maushmi, what's the big takeaway for you from this Congress list that's come out today?
Rajiv, clearly the big takeaway is that the bigwigs are not fighting, but they're not contesting, and that's a departure from the past in 2019, when there was a clear diktat from Rahul Gandhi that everybody has to pull in the full throttle, and the big faces have to contest, and there were a lot of leaders in contention. Many chickened out, and they were put on the wrong side of the Congress leadership. But this time round, there doesn't seem to be much pressure. And even if there's pressure, it's not working out, because from Ashok Gehlot to Kamal Nath to Digvijay Singh and even Sachin Pilot for that matter, all those names are missing. The senior leaders, including Harish Rawat, are not interested in contesting and more interested in making the kith and kin or other leaders contest. So, is it a half-hearted attempt by the Congress party is the big question. And on the other side, the Congress, if you see Venugopal said, Rajdeep, today he said that we are putting in SCs, STs, OBCs, more than 74% in the list are these categories. But importantly, you know, if you look at the list of candidates, all the SC, STs are in the reserved category. There is no general seat where a SC or ST is contesting. So how is it a departure from the past and the Congress focus on social justice actually delivered? That's the other question.
Right. You know, we should be putting up all the big names who are not contesting as much as those who are, Preeti, because while we read about the Vaibhav Gehlots, Nakul Naths, the truth of the matter is Sachin Pilot not contesting, as Maushmi said. Ashok Gehlot, well, he did contest the Rajasthan elections as chief ministerial candidate, but now is staying out. Neither is Kamal Nath, preferring his son to contest. Is there a sense you get that the Congress leaders like Sachin Pilot just don't want to be associated with the prospect of another defeat in the Hindi heartland. You don't want 2 to 3 consecutive Lok Sabha defeats. So if you're an MLA, you just want to hold on to your seat rather than take the risk of taking on what is seen as the Modi juggernaut in North India.
You know, Rajdeep, your cadre fights the election. Nothing communicates better to the cadre and that the cadre is worth fighting for than a top leader actually taking to the field and fighting an election. So if there was a Sachin Pilot and he commands, and you know, talking about Sachin Pilot, he commands a fair amount of sway where the Congress cadre in Rajasthan is concerned. Instead of saying that I'm going to take care of 4 seats, and I believe that's what he's communicated to the CEC in my area rather than fight my own election, I think your messaging is completely wrong. Rajasthan right now is poised at a place where the last time where it left 25 out of 25 to the BJP. Surveys seem to suggest there's a fair amount of listlessness in the Shekhawati region. You are looking to tie up with the RLP. You're looking to tie up with the tribal party. You could have gone for the kill. And nothing else proves it better than the top leadership taking to the fore, but they haven't done so.
You know, the problem, of course, for the Congress in the Hindi heartland is the huge psychological advantage that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP are seen to have. As Preeti said last time, the Congress swept, the BJP swept Rajasthan 25 out of 25. They won 28 out of 29 in Madhya Pradesh. So there seems to be a reluctance on the part of the senior leaders to actually get tangled into a battle which they fear they could lose. So you're going with a defeatist mentality at times, and that's not ideal because that doesn't send out the right message to your cadres. But then that's the nature of the power play. Maybe you'll have a few new faces who are getting opportunities as a result. Interesting to see how the Congress is playing out this game in 2024. More politics has erupted a day after the centre notified the Citizenship Amendment Act rules. The opposition insisting that this is a poll ploy by the BJP to polarize voters ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, saying that the Modi government was once again trying to play the Hindu-Muslim card. Remember, when the CAA was first brought in 2019, there was protests and agitations in many Muslim-dominated areas. Today, Home Minister Amit Shah, addressing a public rally, said all that the Modi government had delivered was what it had promised. Listen in.
Celebrations and protest. The centre notified the law to expedite citizenship for non-Muslim minorities from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh.
हमने कहा था हम CAA लाएंगे. हिंदू, बौद्ध, जैन, ये सारे सिख, ये सारे लोगों को नागरिकता देकर उनका सम्मान करने का काम नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने किया.
Passed in 2019, the CAA amends the 64-year-old law that barred illegal migrants from gaining Indian citizenship.
तुष्टीकरण की वोट बैंक की राजनीति के कारण कांग्रेस पार्टी इसका विरोध करती थी. लाखों करोड़ों लोग पाकिस्तान से और बांग्लादेश से अपना धर्म बचाने के लिए, अपना सम्मान बचाने के लिए इस देश में आए. उनको नागरिकता नहीं मिलती थी. अपने ही देश में वो नागरिकता के बगैर अपमानित होते थे.
The Modi administration seals a significant promise ahead of the general elections. But the move, praised by the ruling BJP and the potential beneficiaries of the amended law, sparked strong opposition reactions. The opposition camp called it an election tactic to polarize voters before the Lok Sabha elections. West Bengal's Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee denounced the CAA notification as a divisive maneuver.
ইচ্ছা করেই কালকের দিনটা বেছে নেওয়া হয়েছে, কারণ কালকে থেকে রমজান মাস শুরু হয়েছে, এটা আমরা বুঝি. বিজেপির খেলা হচ্ছে হিন্দুতে হিন্দুতে ভাগ করে দেওয়া, মুসলিমে মুসলিমে ভাগ করে দেওয়া.
In the south, Tamil Nadu and Kerala governments declared they won't enforce a CA in their states. Maharashtra's opposition parties rejected the CAA notification, labelling it an election ploy.
निवडणुकीचा कार्यक्रम जाहीर करण्याची वेळ आली असताना अशा प्रकारचा निर्णय घेणं केंद्र सरकारने हा सरळ संसदीय लोकशाही पद्धतीवर एक प्रकारचं हे आक्रमण आणि त्याच्यासाठी आम्ही त्याचा निषेध करतो.
CAA लागू कर दिया, इससे क्या हो जाएगा? सामने चुनाव है, इसलिए आप ये सब काम कर रहे हैं? केवल इस देश में एक अराजकता का माहौल फैलाना चाहते हैं चुनाव जीतने के लिए?
Congress and the National Conference echoed similar concerns.
ये तो बिल्कुल पोलराइज करने के लिए है ना, सामाजिक ध्रुवीकरण के लिए है, पश्चिम बंगाल और असम के चुनाव को प्रभावित करने के लिए है. अगर वो ईमानदारी से ये करते तो ये पहले 2020 में क्यों नहीं लाए?
इलेक्शन का ब्यूगल बजने से चंद दिन पहले CAA का नोटिफाई किया जाना, बीजेपी मजहब का इस्तेमाल करना चाहती है आने वाले पार्लियामानी इलेक्शन में.
The Aam Aadmi Party criticized the notification, citing it as an example of the Modi government's skewed priorities.
CAA का पुरजोर विरोध करते हैं और हम चाहते हैं कि पहले मोदी जी हमारे देश के लोगों का ध्यान रखें, उन्हें महंगाई से निजात दिलाएं, बेरोजगारी से निजात दिलाएं.
The BJP government vehemently defended the new law. The CAA becomes a rallying point for the opposition, uniting them against the government ahead of the Lok Sabha polls on this issue. Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, that's all that we could pack in on this edition of Elections Unlocked. This will be your destination right through this election season for all the twists and turns in the battle for 2024. Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind, Namaskar.